Welcome to the Pink Lady Against Scammers podcast. Hi, everybody. I would like to welcome to today's episode John, who has a new cool dating app. Hi, John. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into all the goodies about your app.
Sure. A little bit of background. I'm out of Appleton, Wisconsin. Right out of high school, I joined the Air Force and did that for 4 years. I got my bachelor's in organizational leadership from Green Bay. Um, Currently working on my master's in sustainable management. I work a day job as an internal auditor for American Family Insurance, and I teach veterans part time about small business development at a local community college. And Around last year is when we started the venture of the new dating app for introverts.
I love it. Now, real quickly, give us a definition of what an introvert is for those that don't know. I looked it up because I had to be reminded of what it meant.
Sure, yeah. Introverts and extroverts are kind of opposite in how they expend their energy. And when you think about an extrovert, they're kind of more outward. They have probably a lot more energy to spend, or at least the way they choose to spend it is more vocally and out in the open. Whereas an introvert tends to reserve their energy. They like to use it in the ways that they prefer. Oftentimes, they have less energy, and it's just they're more internal beings. They watch more than they talk, and they talk to the people that they're comfortable with and say what they're comfortable with. So they're just more internal individuals.
So you decided to come up with a dating app for introverts, correct?
Yeah.
How did you come about all this? What made you decide it? And are you like a programmer where you can write apps, or were you in this with several people?
So I don't have a tech background in any capacity. I When I started this venture, I had to look around for like development companies. There's so many options between like large scale firms, medium companies, and then small individuals trying to do their own thing. So there's a lot out there to try and pick and choose from. So it was a lot of interviewing and looking around for what I was comfortable with and what felt best for me. But yeah, like in February of last year, I was sitting in my office with some friends, colleagues, and we were talking about dating. And I had mentioned that I wish there was a dating app for people like me who is more introverted. And one of them said, "Well, why don't you make it?" And I was like, I don't even know where to start with that. I have no business. I didn't have any business skills at the time, and but I thought I'd look into it, and I did, and I didn't see anything out there that was really like strongly catering to introverts. So I thought I'll give it a shot, and fast forward year and a half later, and here we are.
So tell us about your app. How does it work? I heard a little bit of a podcast that you were on so that I could at least familiarize myself a
Oh,
little bit. Like I think I heard there's free and then there's the premium.
mhm.
So how does one sign up? I did download the app just to look at it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's pretty normal compared to other dating apps in the sense like, a lot of dating apps have a lot of good sign-on features and in general features, and what they present is it's pretty universal. So we wanted to keep it that way. So when users join, they're like, "Oh, we can use this just like we would use another one." The main difference is it's for introverts. So first off, like the community itself, nobody's presenting their app as this is the dating app for introverts except us now. So that's first and foremost kind of a big part. We hope that people that identify as introverts in other apps will want to make the switch over. Additionally, people who weren't using dating apps because they're aware of like the stigma from most normal dating apps. Maybe they'll come out of the woodwork and join, since there's a platform that says, "Hey, we're here for you now." So, um, a couple other things that are different. One thing we've learned over the years in general is that like the love languages are kind of like a popular thing between people. Like people value that a lot. So we incorporated that into our match algorithm. So how people match together apart from distance is based off of when their love languages match together. So that way it's more compatible in that sense. Um, Introverted features, we just have one main one right now. It's the blind date feature. So when two users are when they match and start talking, there's a toggle option. And when you toggle it on, it lets the app know you're ready to go on a date with them. But it won't let the user know until the other user also toggles on. Once both users toggle it on, the app will let them both know that they want to go on a date with each other. So that kind of takes away the fear of asking somebody out ahead of time, like if you're not sure. So that's supposed to help them in that way. The other uh, kind of newer feature that is supposed to help with engagement is our connect to connect feature. Whereas most apps are like swipe left and swipe right or tap to like someone, we kind of added a little bit to that um, to help with a couple things. One, with engagement. I think people kind of swipe like super swipe, like constantly swipe, and a lot of times it leads to accidents, but also it's kind of like I don't know, they're not paying attention. And what we did is we added our logo is like a thought bubble with a heart in it. So when you like someone, the thought bubble is on the right and the heart's on the left. So you have to tap, drag, and drop. Um, that way it kind of gets rid of the accidental matching more so and helps with engagement. Um, yeah, I think those are like the main like things. Additionally, like we in general when you create a profile, not everyone likes to talk about themselves and everything. So we kind of created some like canned questions and also canned answers that are kind of universal, but also tell someone about themselves. We also have a bio if you like to talk about yourself a lot, so that helps too. But we wanted to get it was about as much as I could get into like the initial development. In the future, we have a lot more plans to come into play, but that's kind of like what the app represents right now for its initial development.
Cool. Now, how long has your app been available?
We released it in May.
In May. And
Yeah,
about how many users do you have now?
it's I think we're around 300 now.
Well, that's good. My big question is, which I talked to you before we started
Yeah,
recording, what I do is mess with online romance scammers. That's
yeah,
a big thing of women and men losing billions of dollars every year to this. And that's, it's not just dating sites, it's any social media platform.
yeah,
All mine are Instagram.
okay,
Do you have any safety protocols in place
yeah.
that could hopefully keep those bad dudes away?
So in order to create a dating app, you have to have at least one safety protocol in place. And we added that for the sake of creating the app, and we want to add more. So right now what we have is like if you have any suspicion of like fraudulent or fake things, you can report and block. And that's as simple as it gets, and that's what we have right now. Obviously, we want to add more because safety is important, but for the sake of getting the app out, not to say we were trying to get it out like at its lowest form or anything, but you got to start somewhere. All apps did. But safety is important to us, and we definitely have intentions of adding more to it. Um, but right now, what we have is the report and block.
Cool. No, that sounds great. So much social media places when you try to report someone, they don't, especially TikTok, they don't do anything about it. Even
Really?
if you keep, yeah, I do lives twice a week, and that's what everybody keeps saying. They'll report somebody, but they don't do anything about it. So, but no, I am so glad to hear that. Um, did I have any other questions? Oh, what's the name of your app?
Koi amore. So koi isn't shy, and then amore is Italian for love. So
Oh, that's awesome. That's often. And it's available, like I have an iPhone, so it's available at the Apple Store.
yep, and
Um,
Android.
and Android.
Yeah.
You said that there's a free part. What do you get if you pay, and how much does that cost?
Yeah, so It's free to download. You can subscribe to get like additional features like the blind date feature. And that I believe is $30 a month. Um, there's you can buy like side features, like any of the side features that we have, like retract or boost or anything like that. You can pay like a one-time fee to, use that, much like a lot of other dating apps. Two things to note. Right now we're removing our mile limiter, so that way people can, when they get on the app, they at least see there's anyone on there. And we might keep that down for like a couple of years, honestly. Just it takes a while to get some of this kind of an app off the ground, but um, with people seeing this app kind of all over the country whenever they do see it, it's often enough. Like if somebody were to see it in one place where it hasn't really been advertised, then they might get on and see that nobody's on there. So we want to just kind of make sure they at least see that it's being used in some capacity. Um, and then right now, I know currently like we're experiencing a problem with the login, which we're submitting the fix for tomorrow. So like if you were to try and log on right now, it wouldn't work. But we found the problem, thankfully, like today. So
Cool. How many are you of you all, I can't talk tonight, of you all are involved in this? Like you're involved and do you have like other people's or is it a company that's helping you with the behind
yeah,
the scenes?
definitely me. I have somebody that markets or wow,
That's
manages my
okay.
my social media. I've got an accountant, a lawyer, the development company. We partnered together, so they continue with like bug fixing and stuff like that. And they're out of Milwaukee, so they're also a local company.
Cool, cool. Is there anything else you would like to share about the app? Your app info is on all social media, I assume, like Twitter,
Yeah.
Instagram,
Yep.
and everywhere.
Yes.
Super. So yeah, you guys go check this out. If you're an introvert, I think this is perfect. I am not an introvert. I would probably scare everybody away. But no, I think this is great. This is when I got your thing about this, I was like, "Oh my God, this is awesome." It's not something that you hear much about.
Yeah.
So, I think you're going to be very successful because this
I
is,
appreciate you.
so anyway, also I wanted to thank you for your service in the Air Force, but I didn't
Oh
want to
yeah.
interrupt you earlier.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
So, so anyway, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
if you're all out there looking for a dating app for introverts, I just found you one. Okay. I don't get a cut. I always like to help people do their thing. So, thank you so much, John.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Well, I hope you all go and check out John's app because it sounds really great, especially for those of you who are introverted. I learned a lot today from John. Anyway, you still have time to nominate my podcast in St. Louis's Riverfront Times Best of 2023. You can go to the riverfronttimes.com, and at the top there's a little thing that says voting. So vote for me. I'm under the arts and entertainment category. There are 5 podcasts, and mine nominated. So please go in there and vote for me. You can go in once a day. You just need to have an email address to go in. And then the last day of voting is September 12th. So you have another week. So go in and vote for the Pink Lady Against Scammers. She will be ever so grateful. Also, be sure to follow me on TikTok, Pink Lady Against Scammers. I do lives on Wednesdays at 6 p.m., Saturdays at 7 p.m., all Central Standard Time. Our Saturday shows tend to get a little wild sometimes. The past Saturday, I actually talked to a scammer live while we did our live, and it was crazy. On Sunday, I had TikTok hangover because I was so worn out, and we laugh a lot and we share education. Everybody asks questions. I have Coastal Cowboy 79 who comes on. He has a great TikTok account. If you're not following him, follow him. Yvette, Ivy Princess is what she's called. She's also does great stuff. educating against scammers and their ways. I forgot who else was on, but I mean, it was just my regulars, Cat Lady, Pup Angel, and Suzanne from Australia. So be sure to come. Again, that's Wednesdays and Saturday evenings. And of course, follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I have the Pink Lady Against Scammers on both those. Follow me, spread the word, come be part of the fun. I do give out my t shirts for free that advertise all my blog and podcast and TikTok. The shirts are free, but I have to charge $6 for shipping because I can't do it all. Please email me at patsypodcast@att.net and give me your shirt size and your mailing address. And on my TikTok, I have a link tree. Um, that's set up for PayPal, but I also have Zelle, Venmo, Cash App, and that's all of them. Sorry. You can always message me and say I prefer to pay one of the other ways, and I'll give you my information to pay me. But I only charge 6. Now, right now, this is just for people in the United States. I'm not ready to do international shipping yet, but I'm going to work up to that. I want to get all the other shirts done before I venture out there. So anyway, thanks for joining me today as always. Please check out John's app. And as I say all the time, they don't love you, they love your money.